Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 111th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it had, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. While this definitely isn't the first female MC to be featured on this page, I'd hazard to guess it's the earliest one I've done, at least so far. And while Brat is a dope MC for any gender, there's a couple reasons why I feel like her being female is kind of relevant to the background of this album. As you may or may not know, through this debut smash album Funkdafied here, she became the first ever female to go platinum in hip hop. This LP was groundbreaking in many ways, but before I really delve into its content, I want to discuss the term female rappers a little bit, and how it can sometimes separate dope MCs who happen to be women for no real reason. I feel like this is a bit of a touchy subject because more often than not, I see people act like female rap is a subgenre or something, opposed to just lumping them into the culture with everyone else. Ironically, a good amount of the incels who say things like women can't rap or women aren't funny are the same ones who constantly cry about the discrimination against Eminem for being white, yet can currently refuse to put more than 5 seconds into listening to anyone who isn't the same sex as them. However, as much as I'd like to pretend this is strictly some male issue, that would be misrepresenting the problem, since female Nicki Minaj fans are arguably just as bad. People like MC Lyte, Roxanne Shante, Moni Love, or Queen Latifah broke down the door for women in rap in the 80s. Yet these people will never shut up about how Nicki totally paved the way for all these other girls and how they owe her the utmost respect. And now she's kind of rightfully getting torn up by the general hip hop or even music community. Because honestly, she proves time and time again how classless and kind of petty she is. This isn't a drama channel, but if you're gonna try and send a hate train to a woman who was already traumatized and was just kind of getting out of the other side of that, don't slink away and hide in the dark when people bring up your woman-beating husband. The Brat has done more for females in hip hop than Nicki. That's not even up for debate, and you can completely ignore the gender, and any objective rap fan can tell who's the more talented MC. I feel bad even having to dedicate so much of this video to something that really shouldn't be a key aspect of the music, but I thought it was worth addressing because I think there's a lot of quote-unquote progressives in music who talk the talk and act like they are supporting female hip-hop, yet can't name 5 female rappers pre-2010. Also, I want to emphasize I have no issue with sexual or promiscuous hip hop. I'm not some virgin who sees Ice Spice twerk and starts whining because I never got any ass in high school. There's a time and place for that music. The problem is, a lot of people will genuinely insist that that's most or even just all female rappers. Even disregarding the talents to come out in the 2000s to prove that blatantly false, like Jean Grey, Eve, Raw Digga, or Psalm 1, just to name some, or the women who paved the way for them in the 90s, like Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, the Lady of Rage, or Ladybug Mecca of Diggable Planets. Any hip hop head who's remotely in tune with the culture knows how full of diversity and quality the modern game is. But you throw on any song from Funkdafied, and even the most angry, woman hating incel wouldn't be able to deny her skills on the mic. I think it's corny how people act like Ice Spice has absolutely nothing to offer because obviously she's still around, and every time they say she's gonna fall off, she proves them wrong, which honestly is pretty funny to me. I don't know how seeing a fat ass can make you so upset, but to each their own, I suppose. Either way, you really can't use the disses against her towards the Brat. For starters, she doesn't like men. She's been happily married to her wife for a good while now, I believe, but even still, she isn't just talking about taking back shots and partying with the girls. She's talking about some real ass gangsta shit here. She lets you know in a number of ways that she's not the one to be fucked with on here, and you can tell from her delivery she isn't making it up either. Of course, you really can't mention the Brat without bringing up the label she was on, So Def, which in turn can't be brought up without talking about its founder, Jermaine Dupri. One of the game's brightest business minds, JD discovered, signed, and produced a number of successful acts and artists, from Da Brat to Bow Wow and of course Criss Cross. While I don't think anyone really remembers it besides me, you can definitely credit him with giving Lotto her start too, as I used to be obsessed with JD's shitty but insanely entertaining early 2000s reality show, where he worked with some spoiled child rappers and gave one a shot at the end. While Lotto didn't win, and I've seen interviews where she talks about turning down Jermaine Dupri's deal because it wasn't enough money, though it seems like she maintains JD had no hand in her success. I find it funny that she kind of plays like she's from the hood and really about this shit, but I'm pretty sure she was around 12 in that show, and needless to say, it didn't really seem like anyone there was exactly not well off. You clearly had to have some degree of connections. Anyway, Jermaine was much more than a businessman. He was a talented producer who did all the beats on Brat's debut here, as well as a couple guest appearances. While Brat's technical flow and slick, clever lines are the main attraction besides the instrumentals, there's also features by the likes of Candy, Latasha Scott, YT, and Mac Daddy of Crisscross. I only have a few honorable mentions for this one since it's a relatively short LP, but those would include The Shit You Can't Fuck With, Fire It Up, Made a Funk Bewitcha, Ain't No Thing, and Give It to You. For my three favorite songs overall, they'd probably have to be the title track, Come and Get Some, and Mind Blowin'. Thank you for watching my 111th video. Next time we're going to talk about an equally as funky album, but this one's from the West instead of the South. So tune in for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite songs off this record-breaking debut are. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.